Okay, hello everybody and welcome to this week's Reps Call. Unfortunately, I cannot see who is logged in on video except Irving, Rikiki, and Patrick. So welcome you three. I can also see on the Etherpad we have Eduardo, Sandeep, Sagar, Petras, Jason, Irving, Lahiru, Pranjat, and Kiki. Welcome everybody. Do add your names on the Etherpad so we know you were here. And we have a shout out to the amazing African community for all the events that they have already added on the Sumo Sprint. I don't know why, I don't know how, but the African community has added the most events right now for the Sumo Sprint. You should check them out. And thank you very much. Keep them coming. With that and without further delay, I'm gonna pass the microphone to Patrick. Patrick is leading the Sumo team, if any of you don't already know that, and he would like to give an update on where Sumo is standing right now and what are the next steps.
Thanks, Constantina. Sumo has been, we've been trying to figure out how we continue to apply the community support model that we've used on our site, support.mozilla.org, if you're not familiar. How we continue applying that to new products that are coming out. For example, we offer forums for the iOS and Android products, but most of that support actually happens in the app stores where people can just apply a rating if they're frustrated with the product. So currently we're running an experiment with the Open Innovation team to stand up a tool that will allow us to respond to some of those Android app reviews. Roland is running a very small version of the experiment, and then with the help of Constantina and some others, we're actually creating a tool which we will show off at some point soon. I'm not sure the timeline when it's going to be delivered. I think in the next week or two.
Actually, it's almost delivered. I have a beta. Whoever is not speaking, please mute because there is a lot of wind. And I'm gonna do a small demonstration in this week's call. So yeah, for demonstrations, and you're all gonna see how it looks like. It's still on beta, so it will be fully released next week.
Thanks. So last week, myself and several members of the Sumo team went out to Berlin to meet with the Open Innovation team, as well as some groups that we've been working with to do some research on other companies that are utilizing community support. And they presented some things that we can learn and take away, and we ended up doing a workshop session with them to come up with some projects for the second half of the year. Do you think it's a good idea to go through each of those, or just give a brief overview?
I think brief overview is fine.
Okay. The first one we're calling Alchemist Journey. This one is around taking our educational content on how you become a contributor, how to respond to users on Sumo, and partnering with something like LinkedIn or Teachable, another site out there, to create actual educational content that may award a certificate afterwards. So you have something tangible. You're learning something that applies to your contribution to Mozilla, and hopefully that strengthens or creates a more engaged contributor on Sumo. We had some part of the presentation was showing the numbers of on one side we had, I think it was 8 contributors who have done tens of thousands of contributions over 8 years, and that bar was the same size as all of the new contributors who come in So we're getting the same output out of these new contributors from these 8 contributors who have been around for a very long time. How do we take those new contributors and push them into the other buckets so they feel like they can stick around a little bit longer, they're getting the help they need, so they can respond to users. So we're going to do some experiments around that. The second one was, we're calling it Sumo Propaganda. This is to highlight Sumo's activities throughout the organization, throughout Mozilla, as the Mozilla organization, as well as to the contributors. But getting data out of Sumo to the product team so they can understand what kind of problems our users are having. Also, as a way to get our new employees who are coming through the onboarding process to understand what Sumo is, what kind of things our users are talking about our products, and hopefully have some strengthened connections between our team and the product teams. And then the third one was one that Constantina and I worked on. It's called Switchboard Operator. This one, so we've recognized that there's a lot of conversations, support conversations happening outside of Sumo. There's a subreddit where people talk about Firefox issues, and there's already a community there who's servicing the people who come and ask those questions. So we don't want to go in and say, here's how Sumo does things, come take trainings or things like that. But we want to let the contributors who are coming to Sumo know that these other communities exist out there, and make it a way for them to go and, if they want to, they can join the subreddit, or they can join Mozilla Zine or one of the localized communities that are out there doing support. So yeah, it would be a page that would show like a new user coming in and asking a question, and a contributor who sees that could just click on it and go to that particular channel and answer the question that is there. The next steps out of this is we've created a couple project plans. George Roeder is taking a look at them and helping us figure out how we can apply community strategies to these different plans, what kind of resources we'll need to get these up off the ground. Yeah, and I hope some of these come to fruition or start getting worked on in the second half of the year. Is there any questions? I didn't see any in the Etherpad. Oh, there's one. First question is, do we have any plans to integrate the new Sumo Play Store tool in the Sumo platform in general? If the test is successful, yes. I think the big challenge for the Sumo team right now is we don't have a whole lot of engineering resources. So if this is successful, that will help us make the case to my leaders that we need a chunk of either people to work on this or dollars to help us get people to create this thing and get it up on the Sumo. Any other questions?
Thank you, Patrick. I'm wondering if there's gonna be any discourse topic about like what are we gonna do?
Yeah, that seems like a good idea. I will talk to Mihal and Rachel and have them get a topic added so we can talk about this with all of the contributors. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Any other questions?
And if there's anything else, please reach out either. I'm not on IRC much, but you can drop me an email. My email is pmcclard at mozilla.com, or you can find me on Slack if you are on Slack. We have a sumo channel called Pound Sumo 2. Pound Sumo and the number 2.
We also have, when we will get presentation slide for Firefox Explorer Sprint? Tomorrow. I'm actually having a meeting tomorrow to build that, so you'll see. I will actually do a live demonstration now, so I can get people excited. But tomorrow you will have a slide and a video on how to do it. Disclaimer, I'm gonna do that now, but it's still developing on very small stuff, so if it breaks, it doesn't mean it's bad. Live demonstrations always go bad, but I will give it a try. Bear with me all. Okie dokie. That is me. So harvest your eyes, because here we go. Save the world from the comfort of your couch. Help Firefox win by supporting users to Google Play Store. Hello there, what should we call you? Call me Cookie. Cookie is a nice name. I gave a dummy. Don't try to mail the dummy, please. I will add the password. And next step. And your language. Choose the languages you can speak so you can show your responses on those languages. I will add Greek. And I will also add Armenian. I don't know why. I don't speak Armenian, by the way. This is not going to go to the users yet. It's beta. So I don't have problems doing that on users. So Cookie, you are all set. Now, what do you want to do? Do you want to respond on something like that? Or do you want to moderate the response? I will say I want to write a response. Oops. Yes, we have a problem. Let's see. I think it's because I didn't load yet all the things. Oh, darn it. Let me see if... Nope. Okay, let's see. Yep. As you can see, it's on development, so they haven't loaded all the reviews yet. So you will get a live review tomorrow, but this is how it will look like. And I can try again in the, like they are making some small changes. That's why this happened right now. I said from the beginning it's on development. So tomorrow is ready. They are changing stuff tomorrow and you will all get the slides tomorrow on how it will look like. Any questions?
By the way, I have a question.
Yes.
So do we have any access level on who can moderate the response and who can review or who can answer?
So the moderation, I cannot show how it looks like now because the tool is, they probably changed something, that's why it broke. But the moderation will happen from anyone. So anyone can moderate other people's responses. That's the idea. The idea is that you will get 3 categories that you can moderate on. You can say it wasn't helpful. Do you believe that the node was appropriate? Do you believe that it was a nice tone?
Yeah.
So actually people will be able to rate that. And after this pass a specific rating system, it will go up. So it won't be moderated only from one person. It will be moderated by multiple persons to ensure that nobody will go in and just click yes, yes, yes to everything. So a lot of people need to moderate one response in order for this to go up.
Okay,
If there is any, if there is any inappropriate response get onto the Google Play Store, do we have any procedure to change it or fix it?
Yes, if something goes completely wrong and something goes really bad, we have the right, and we're actually gonna see what is going up. We have the right to override that response. So on Google's Play Store, it's not a conversation. You write a review, you reply, and that's it. So if I reply again, I override the previous reply. So that won't stay forever. If some spam pass in, we have the right to override it.
Okay, cool.
And during the moderation, it's not posted to the Play Store and live. It doesn't get posted until the moderation actually happens. So hopefully that will weed out some of those issues.
Any other questions? Sorry, I was muted. Somebody is asking for the Sumo Slack channel. If Patrick, can you actually write that down so people can join? Okie dokie. I think there is a Daniele in this room that will need to pass the microphone on, but he will talk about the council. And by the way, thank you so much, Patrick, for being here with us today. Daniele? I cannot hear Daniele, so I'm pinging him, and I will give the microphone to Emma to ensure that Daniele has time to come back. Hey, Emma!
Surprise! I am not Italian. Good morning, afternoon, evening. Thank you so much I just squeezed into this call here. For those of you that don't know me, I work on the Open Innovation teams, specifically in diversity and inclusion initiatives for our community. Hopefully you've seen at least one blog post or some of our work. I wanted to bring attention to reps that we have something called a diversity, inclusion, and open source call that we've been running. And the goal of this call has been to bring together people from not just internal to Mozilla, but other open projects that are working on similar initiatives. Our research showed that like open projects are working on some of the same problems and hitting some of the same walls. And hey, why don't we try and work together a bit more and surface the things that we're learning so we can help each other. So we've had 3 calls so far. The first one was to share the results of a D&I survey that we did, and maybe many of you participated in that. The second was highlighted some Mozilla projects like the Coral project and blind reviews. And the last one was really great. It was a panel on the topic of code of conduct, and we had the original creator of the code of the covenant and another number of other speakers from projects. So if you were to watch one from the past, I'd recommend that one. And then if you were to watch one from the future, then I would suggest next Wednesday at 9 o'clock, I put a link on line 102 to what that is your time. Our topic is going to be improving speaker diversity, but it's also, talks about how to make events more inclusive. And this is a speaker that regularly talks on this topic from the WordPress community. So she's used to helping people in the WordPress community figure out how to build more inclusive events, very aligned with, I think, what the reps do. And I think it would be hopefully very useful for you to turn up. And there's a few links there, how to join live. There's also live streaming. We have captioning. We're trying to be inclusive through this as well. And there's also a wiki page, which I didn't quite get to adding, but I will do that once I stop talking, which is now. Does anyone have any questions, or we'll just see you all there?
Are you also, on the live stream is also, that's the Airmo link?
It's not, there's no Airmo link. We haven't been using Airmo, and I don't know if that's, I've been using Zoom because it allows us to build in captioning to our calls right now. So, and it has this neat function where people can ask questions right through the conferencing software. And it also gives us like a panelist view where like we can focus on just the panelists, and then, it's kind of cool. So maybe Irmo does some of those things. I need to figure it out.
Cool. Any other questions?
Great. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, Emma. Keep describing the question. Sorry. We also have Petras talking about Technorama. Petras, do you want to talk about it?
Hello, guys. I hope you can hear me. Basically, about Technorama, that was an event organized almost a month ago in Lithuania. And the main focus of why I wanted to do and to talk about it, of course, PR, but otherwise, is how we implemented two activities, which is Rust and WebVR, into one quite big hackathon. So we had over a few hundred people coding, and we had over 2,000 people actually coming in and visiting what people have created. So although we were slightly slow on writing a blog post of exactly how everything went, but hopefully that will be launched today if everything sorts out with our website. Shortly, we had over 200 participants, which were working for 3 days, so 3 full days, 24 hours, in a university space, coding on Rust and WebVR applications. So in short, this was something extremely cool with a very, very small budget for the size of the event, because we were able to communicate with the university to get free venue, free spaces, even some foods, drinks. And the best part is, from last year, we got people who've done the applications to come in and volunteer as mentors for the new guys. And the aspect here is that we're doing a sort of a retention strategy where people who've last year worked on, let's say, Rust program, this year will mentor and hence will stick to being to volunteer at Mozilla. So this kind of is promoting the local volunteerism. So if there are a few lessons learned, one of those would be, as always, I'll say, to communicate with the local organizations, companies, and etc. They will most likely provide with a lot of resources that perhaps at Mozilla we can't get, such as venues, or they're too costly to get. And secondly, it's probably one of the best strategies so far is retention, is attending the same events year after year and trying to get involved with the same people, moving them up the ladder, and kind of keeping them in the community and giving them perhaps more tasks, and pushing them into an area of their interest at Mozilla to contribute. So that's pretty much about it. If anyone has any questions on the event or anything, just let me know. I will put up the report today, hopefully, and share the link on Telegram Reps chat, so people can have a look around and let us know what is what. But yeah, actually, does anyone have questions now? Nope. Okay, so that's all from me. A very short talk, but hopefully if someone needs any information or clarification, just let me know, and if I'll keep you posted, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Petras, for letting us know. Any questions for Petras? Nope. Okie dokie, I'm gonna go back to cancel updates. Unfortunately, Daniele informed me that he cannot be here, so I will take my Italian fake voice and I will give you the cancel updates. So folks, the council is working on Q2 OKRs, and we are defining a new time for the council weekly call because not everyone actually can join with the actual schedule. That is the update from Daniele, and you will see a post about the OKRs pretty soon. With that, there is a non-verbal update to don't forget to participate in the support sprint, and there is a link, so do go and register your event. And does anybody want to add anything else? No? Okie dokie. With that, I'm gonna all let you go. Have a nice day and see you all next week.
Thanks everyone, bye.
Bye.